Hello and welcome to today's Lol Esports Roundup. We're going to cover the news from the last 24 hours, as well as the 2 games in the LPL that occurred this morning, and the 4 games previewed for tomorrow. The news, I'm not really going to talk about the EG situation. I think that's a disaster. We've got some people saying, I know this, I know that. We got other people saying, I know this, I know that. We see Danny's statement. And then we have people saying, but I know this, I know that about that statement and why it's made. And in the end, it's just a bunch of people saying they know things and there's nothing behind it. So, just like in any sort of, situation, you don't take court of public opinion. Court of public opinion is pretty useless. Um, if facts come out, if people from inside EG put their face to the words, then we can, go from there. We see with the Fnatic situation, we have had people come out from Fnatic that were in Fnatic over the last couple of years and put faces to words of what happened behind the scenes, and that's what makes it legitimate. Without anything besides just people saying they know things, we have nothing to go off of except what Danny has said. And why that was said, I mean, all we can assume is that Danny wanted to say it. If it's the thought that Danny didn't want to say it, Danny didn't have to say it. He's not legally abided to say it. So that's kind of the deal there. Other news, speaking of players actually, leaving for personal reasons, a Blaze Olive from Immortals has left for personal reasons and left competitive play. Immortals are bringing up Balulu. I've been saying for weeks now Balulu should be playing over Blaze Olive. Obviously, I do not want it to be in this circumstance. I wanted it to be a competitive decision, not a decision that they had to make due to, mental health or whatever Blaze Olive is dealing with. So I hope for the best for him. And at the same time, I think Immortals are going to have a better mid laner. Balulu, 4.3 KDA, 8.3 CS per minute, 69.5 KP in Academy. He is a longtime Turkish mid laner, one of the better ones, if not the best one in Turkey that I mean, over an extended period of time. Like I've said before in minor region videos, like, you know, you don't know all the teams, you don't know all the players, but every region has a couple, like Holy Phoenix from TCL, or BRTT, or Tin Owns from CBLOL, or when Seiya was in Latin America. You just know these players, and Balulu is in that group, in my opinion. Are these numbers great in Academy? No, I think they're average at best, if not worse. 8.3 CS per minute on average. He's losing his matchup, but he's very involved with 70 KP. Which is, very different than what a Blaze Olive's numbers are. Damage per minute, 664, 27.6% of the team's damage, 22.5 gold share. On average, in laning phase, he's pretty, middle of the road. 225 gold up, 1 CS up, 275 XP, wide champion pool, 11 champions in 20 games. His Zoe and Vel'Koz stick out to me as 2 champions that over the years I know are Balulu's bread and butter, or, his pocket picks. Now, Blaze Olive, 1.4 KDA, 8.6 CS per minute, 53 KP in Immortals in the LCS. Those numbers aren't great, right? So on average, he's out farming the other mid laner over the game, but the problem is he's only 53 KP, which means he's not in fights. So, either his CS needs to be much higher, or his KP needs to be much higher. Either way, he's not doing enough. 580 damage per minute, 27.2 damage share, 22 gold share. So the damage and gold share is pretty similar. 3 solo kills, on average down 300 gold at 15 minutes. CS is pretty even and XP is pretty even. So relatively very similar players, with the exception of how involved they are with their teams. Balulu, 69 KP versus 53 KP. That is a big gap. And played 8 champions in 15 games. So we'll see how Immortals do this weekend with Balulu in the lineup. The team is pretty screwed as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it's not great, but I did want to see this. I wanted to see some improvement out of Immortals on the depth chart, and I think that, like I said, the circumstances suck for why this move's being made. I think it should have just been made for competitive reasons weeks ago, but whatever. Predictions: I'm 174 and 78. We went 1-1 today. RNG 10th in the power rankings. Reminder: power rankings will be updated in the next video on my channel. At 5-4, Anyone's Legend 1-8. Anyone's Legend upsets them 2-1. Pinzi in mid lane went 13-5 and 25, 27% of the team's damage. Zhao Hao was MVP, going 15-4 and 22, played Lee Sin all 3 games. Gala went 15-9 and 10 for 39% of RNG's damage. He had a 10-kill Draven game. So, RNG have disappointed me. For the last week, probably 2 weeks or so, they've been playing Angel and things have been going well. And I'm like, good, this team is the team that I expect to be very good. And I think they have a chance to go to MSI. I think that Angel in mid lane can do Zhao Hu's job and get them to where they need to go. I really did believe that. Now, today, game 1, Angel struggles. He gets killed in mid lane twice in the early game, okay? Team struggles throughout the rest of the game. AL end up coming out ahead and winning, right? Or RNG might have won that game, and then AL won the second one. Regardless, they must have lost because Tangwan ends up playing in game 2, right? So Tangwan plays in game 2, and he's awful. He's awful. Maybe it is opposite, and they just benched Angel because I tried to really watch this series closely, but I was so irritated because I knew going into it what had happened. So they put Tangwan in on Lissandra. He is not very good, and he struggled. He struggled into Pinzi as Pinzi's LeBlanc went all around the rift in game 2, along with Zhao Hao's Lee Sin, and made a ton of shit happen all over. And that just carried over through the rest of the game as they just smacked the crap out of RNG. ZDZ having some impact in game 3 in a big way on the Jax. Breathe, definitely not as big of a deal in this one. I think Breathe has not really had many great series this year, as he's kind of returning to where he was before RNG last year, when he was with BLG, and even maybe, I think he played with Team Wii before that. Just not looking very good. Wei could not keep up with Zhao Hao's Lee Sin. Zhao Hao all over the place. In the bot lane, Gala had some good moments on the Draven. Like I said, he had a very big Draven game. But Betty, I thought, played a really good... he didn't... Yeah, Betty played Kesa in game 3 because I thought to myself, wow, there's a Kesa, and then I realized, oh, it's Betty, it's not Gala. And, a lot of Ziggs prio again out of both of these games series, and we're just seeing Ziggs again in the bot lane. I'm just not a big fan of that. Pretty much to sum it up, RNG are a lost cause as far as I'm concerned if they continue to split scrims between these two mid laners. Obviously, the coaching staff, even the ones they fired, weren't the only ones that thought this was even up for debate on who should be the starting mid laner. It makes absolutely no sense. I would argue they are being run worse than how maybe even Fnatic or Excel were run this year so far. Only because with Fnatic and Excel, there weren't changes made where your team clearly improved, and you said to yourself, hey, I know our team's a lot better now, but we've had one instance of a problem, so we're going to go back and we're going to try what we just did before and continue to screw around and whatever. At least like those teams were always bad and didn't like have the answer right in front of them and just ignore it. Where RNG, I mean, literally, this is a series you cannot be screwing around with. Anyone's Legend stink. This is unacceptable. So, I don't know how far I'm going to drop them in my power rankings. I really wish part of me really wants to just drop them out completely, but I know I can't do that. Team Wii in top 5th in the power rankings at 6-2. World Elite 4-5. Top win 2-0. Jackie left 13-8 and 19. 32% of damage was MVP. Played as Ziggs and Draven. Tien, 8-4-30 in the jungle, very impactful. Hope, 9-9-10, 29% of damage for World Elite. Hope had some really nice plays on the Varus, actually picking off Tien in Fog of War at one point in bot lane. However, Jackie Love in game 2 was able to really start the game off strong, getting a Draven kill level 1, which allowed him to really get going. And then Hope would try and go in on him on Aphelios later, and they would trade 1-for-1, which just allowed the Jackie Love's Draven to get more and more fed. As far as game 1 was concerned, Team Wheat put up a really good fight for a long time. I thought Hang had some really good moments. Shanks and Iwandi, they were playing Cassiopeia and Twitch, obviously mid in support, and that also caused some problems for top if you think about the double poison aspect to it. Top obviously able to overcome it in the end, but definitely in the mid game, it was still very contentious on who might win it. Ching Tian on Yone, I thought he had some nice plays. Definitely more of a finesse champion compared to the bruisers he normally plays. He played Renekton in game 2, and I thought did fine into Bubu's Jace. Rookie doing his thing. I think he played a Jace game 1, or maybe played Syndra game 1. Syndra might have been game 2, Jace game 1. Regardless, I thought Rookie also had some pop-off moments. But as far as, closing out the game, I mean, Team We couldn't get it done. Team fights they end up losing, and top come out victorious. Sneak peek LPL for tomorrow. Nip and OMG. Nip 3-6, OMG 4-4. Nip Ninja Pajamas beat Anyone's Legend last week. OMG beat IG. Week 8 of summer, OMG would win 2-1. The bot lane was highlighted by the Discord. Abel went 8-6-9 for 19% of OMG's damage in that one. And Fodic went 4-9-17 for 25% of Victory 5's damage at the time. Weibo and LGD. Weibo 7th at 5-3, LGD 3-6. Weibo lost to LNG over the weekend. LGD beat FPX. In week 8, Weibo would win 2-0. 3 of the 10 starters overlap. Top lane being highlighted by the Discord. The Shy went 5-6-8 for 30% of the team's damage in that series. Zhaozhu, obviously a rookie, did not play. LCK T1 first at 11-1. KDF 2-10. KDF lost to HLE last week. T1 beat KT. Week 2, day 2 of this split. Now we're in the second round robin. T1 would win 2-0. Mid lane is what the spotlight is on. Faker went 3-1-10 for 18% of T1's damage. And Bulldog across from him went 3-5-3 for 33%. This was one of those series where Bulldog really showed up in a big way, despite losing. I think Bulldog has played a fabulous split. I'd argue that, honestly, part of me would want to give him Rookie of the Split, only because I know Pays is performing very well, but Pays is on a much, much better team in a much better circumstance than what Bulldog is in. D plus in DRX. D plus 9th in the power rankings at 8-4. DRX 2-10. DRX coming off of a win against Bro. And KDF lost to D plus last week. Week 1, day 1. This series was the start of the split. Obviously, DRX being world champions, they were the ones that started off, and they lost to D plus 2-0. The bot lane was highlighted. Deft and Kellen went 18-2-44 in that series earlier in the year for 40% of D plus's damage. Duckdom and Barrel went 1-14-8 for 26%. Duckdom, the series where DRX beat Bro last week, I said, wow, so they put Duckdom into the lineup, he must not be hurt. Now I saw pictures and he's clearly injured, right? He's got a big old splint on his arm. And I cannot believe DRX are playing him. I don't care what a doctor says. You're 1-10. Your split is over. Why are you playing him? Why are you playing him at all? Like, he's clearly hampered right now. I know Blades is not very good. But the fact is, like, your split is over. Shut him down. Like, just simply shut him down for the rest of the year. Not rest of the year, but rest of the split. His injury isn't expected to be year long. It's only supposed to be a couple weeks. But the fact is, like, you only have a couple weeks left in the split. Just give Playeta a longer time up here. I mean, just do that, and hell, bring up Playeta and the support. Why not? Barrel can miss a couple games if you really think that you'd rather do it that way. I just don't understand why he's playing when your team is literally, I mean, done. You're not making the playoffs. Right now, HLE are 8-4 and in 6th place. You're 6 games back. You're done. Your split's over. It's just crazy to me that he's even in the lineup. So I understand there's probably pressure because they won Worlds last year, but it does not matter now. You are 2-10. So that's it for the roundup. If you liked the video, like it, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content, follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a supporter, and thank you for watching.